Hey there friends and neighbors, Bobby here today. Hey folks, today we're going to be trimming out this window out here in our garage with some inexpensive 1x4s. Number 2 grade 1x4s that you can pick up at your home improvement store. And this will be a little bit cheaper than using molding, and I'll show you how we get this done, so stay tuned. Okay friends, the first thing I want to show you is this window casing right here. Actually the lip of it sticks out further than our wall here, okay? So that's going to create a problem when we go to cut this trim, because it's going to be like sitting up here cockeyed. So what we're going to do is actually make a modification to all of the 1x4s. But first of all, I need to know how much to cut off. So I'm just going to stick a wooden block up here, and that looks like about 1/8 of an inch there. And I will check this in different areas around the window to make sure that's going to be enough. Now I'll take you on out to the sawbucks and we'll show you what we do to compensate for that on the 1x4s. Now friends, we're out here at the sawbucks and we have our 1x4 clamped into a Black & Decker Workmate. Okay, now what we want to do, let me see if I can zoom up here. I want to show you a couple marks that I've made on this board here, if it will focus in. Okay, there we go. We're going to take about 1/8 inch off of the inside edge. This is the prettiest side of the board. This is the side that we want facing outward. So we are going to start right here. We're going to try to take an 1/8 inch off, and we want to go about 1/2 inch to 5/8 of an inch deep. Okay, I'm going to show you how we do that with the circular saw. Now friends, we have our circular saw here, and I've already adjusted the depth on the blade to where it won't cut really any further than about 1/2 to 5/8 of an inch. Now I'll show you a little trick I learned from my dad a long time ago. You can take your hand, grab the base of the circular saw here, and you can kind of use your finger as a guide when you're ripping stuff, okay? So we'll go ahead and set the blade on our mark here. Just like about where we want it. And I'm clamping the saw base plate over here, and I'm going to use my finger as a guide as we rip this, okay? So here we go. Okay, now friends, once we ran our blade down there, we can just actually break off this little piece here. I mean, snaps right off, and now we've got enough trimmed off of the 1x4 to where it will not ride up on the window casing. So we'll go ahead and rip all of these 1x4s this way and get all these prepped, and then I'll show you how we get them nailed up to the wall, cut and nailed to the wall. Okay friends, now we've got all our pieces ripped down. We've got our little notch cut in them, and we're ready to go. Now this is actually the most difficult part, and hopefully you won't even have to mess with this if your window casing doesn't come past your wall, whether you got sheetrock or OSB up in your garage. So now the next step, let's see if I can move the camera right over here to the saw here. We're going to go ahead, we've already cut a piece a little bit longer, about 45 inches or so. It's a lot longer than we're actually going to need it. So we're going to, now look here, we've got this lip going in on this side, so we're going to flip it around. We're going to lay it up here, and we're going to go ahead and cut a 45 on this piece right here on one end, okay? And then we'll take it in there, and I'll show you how we mark it to figure out what the total length of. So we'll go ahead and just go ahead and saw this. Okay. So we've got this 45 cut on here. Let's go in here and I'll show you how we mark it, get the correct length for the top piece. Now friends, this piece here, we went ahead and held it up here. Of course we haven't cut it on this end. I had to actually put a brad nail into it to hold it up here just so I could be able to film this, okay? Now this bottom edge of this board right here, okay? Now you want to line this up approximately in the center of your window casing, okay? So that bottom edge right there, and you want to hold it up. The board needs to be up about midway of this upper piece of the window casing. So now let's go over here on this side, and we can put us a mark right here. We'll carry the mark on out to the edge. And friends, that right there is all we need to do. And we'll go out here on the miter saw and we'll actually go by the edge of this mark and we'll cut it. We'll 45 it out this way right here. And then this piece will be ready to be nailed up. So I'm gonna go 45 it and nail it up, and then we'll start with the bottom piece. Okay friends, we got this piece cut. We've already started tacking it up in place. What we're using today is just our finishing gun. Shoots about a 2-inch finishing nail. And we'll go ahead and continue popping a couple nails in here. And maybe one more right here, and that should be good enough. Okay friends, now we're going to go down here and go ahead and cut the piece for the bottom. And then I'll show you how we put the two pieces up the side and we'll be done. Now friends, to put this bottom piece in place, what we did, we just took a piece of scrap here, okay? Set it up here, center it on the windowsill, on the piece of wood here, the 3/4 board. Come over here on the side of it, make a pencil mark up high enough, at least 3.5 inches, okay? I'll show you that why in just a minute. Go ahead and do this on both sides. Center it on the windowsill. Draw your line right up through here. It's kind of hard to do and hold the camera, but there we go. Okay, now we can see we got us a little mark on here. Now here's our piece that we cut, and just to give it a little bit of character, we just went down 3/4 of an inch and then put about a 22.5 degree cut on it on both ends. Now we'll set this up here, and what we want it to do is actually, we're going to center up the difference. We cut it a little bit long, and we got it sticking past our mark probably about 3/8 of an inch right there. And actually, let's move it back a little bit. Okay, we got about 3/8 of an inch there, and 3/8 of an inch right there. Okay, so we're going to go and nail that in place right there. Okay. Now underneath here, we're actually building some workbenches, and I haven't put the plywood on. We just got the framing up for it. So notice I took a piece of scrap OSB and slid underneath here just to give me my right distance. So I'm gonna go ahead and nail this in place, and then we'll be ready to do them uprights. Now friends, we got both our uprights cut with a 45 on each end, okay? But we haven't cut the length yet, but I'm going to show you how to do that without actually taking a measurement. Friends, to mark off these uprights here, all you really have to do is simply flip them upside down, put the point down up against the piece that we had just nailed up, come up here to the very top, and put your mark at the very top of the piece that's nailed up top. Let's see if I can zoom in and let you see where I've already put a mark up here. Right there, okay? So we're going to go out. Gets a little fuzzy there, sorry about that. We're going to go out and square that up and cut it. And we'll go ahead and do both sides and nail them in place. Okay friends, we got the uprights nailed in place now, and everything turned out looking pretty good. I'll just kind of bring the camera around, let you check it out. Friends, I want to thank you for stopping by today and checking out the little video on how to trim out a window very inexpensively. Remember, we used just some basic stuff that we picked up at a home improvement store, number 2 grade pine. We will do a little bit of caulking and put some primer on here and go ahead and paint this up, and we'll go ahead and paint our window while we're at it. Friends, take care. Thanks again for stopping by today, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.